Gia, 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 what's going on? This is Craig Hargrove, the ODP, the outdoor pastor, the proud pastor of Spring Hill, Gia. I'm training for a couple of trips, getting stuff together. Excuse that. So this upcoming Sunday, continuing our series, our study with the fruits of the Spirit, and we are moving to faith. It's good stuff. And so, when we think about faith, I think oftentimes we revert to this believing things without seeing it and just holding fast to what God has said in His Word. We often revert to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 to define our faith. And I'm not saying any of that is wrong. I think in addition to that, and maybe even a danger in that teaching is that we stop right there. That we think that, if we believe long enough and hard enough, but when we see the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5:22 and thereafter, and talks about faith, it is a belief and trust that leads to action. And so if you read past verse 1 in Hebrews 11, you'll see this phrase, by faith, someone did something. By faith, someone did something. By faith, someone did something. Then on down, and then it says, Sarah, through faith, through faith, by faith, action. When you look at the parable in Matthew 25, where the ruler, the master, gave some servants some talents, and you know the story better than I do. But when he comes back, he says, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things." It's not that the servant believes so much that something miraculously happened. The servant did something. The faith we're talking about is the faith that we find in James chapter 2, talking about faith without works is dead. And so I think that, excuse me, so the motivation, the message is for those of us that are faithful, that have faith. It is not that we should clutch on to what God has given us and close our eyes and wait for God to deliver us, wait for the storm to pass. True faith or additional faith, growth in faith, mature faith is that we take what God has given us to do what God is requiring of us. And it does not matter how little or how much God has given us. We can accomplish what God is requiring of us because we have faith in our God. So now is not the time to hunker down and close our eyes and say God is going to do it. Now is the time to look at what God has given us and do what God is calling us to do, and whatever's going on in our lives. And so that's what I have for you this evening. Faith requires us to take what God has given us to do what God is requiring of us, despite what the circumstances may be. This is the outdoor pastor, Craig Hargrove, the ODP, the proud pastor of Spring Hill. Yeah. Let me remind you that you have purpose, you have power. God has destined you to prevail, and I will holler at you later. Peace.